So I'm somewhere in the middle right now of the wiring. I've got that attached, and I've got one of the ditch lights on, and yeah, right in the midway through wiring everything. So this was wired. This was just a bumper, like a license plate adapter that I got off Amazon for pretty cheap. So I didn't have to drill into the bumper or anything like that. And then I just ran the wire, zip tied here, ran it through here, and let's see if I can get a flashlight on that. You can kind of see how there's a hole over there for it to go up through, and it just comes right up here. I just kind of finagled it under there, and then there was a ton of extra cordage, so I just zip tied it. I'll figure out somewhere to put that. The relay I attached right here. There was already a screw there, so I just used it. You can see how I attached these to the battery. Obviously the rings are way too big, but it still works. I already tried turning it on and everything works, so same thing with the positive side. Just threw it on there. Ran everything back here. Again, I haven't actually zip tied stuff yet. I might show that afterwards. But this is for the switch. And if you follow it under here, I just kind of did whatever. There's a, let's see. All right, so there was a rubber, there's a rubber piece kind of blocking that hole that you see where I ran the wires through. And I just kind of took a hammer and like a small chisel or a pry bar, I don't know, just a hammer and a stick, and I pounded it out, and I was able to run it through. It comes out, let's see, right there. It's definitely not pretty. I ended up drilling that out and just kind of making the hole bigger. It's just a piece of plastic that breaks pretty easily when you get through. So the wire runs through, and then I just draped it up over this for now. This comes off pretty easily with just 4 screws. One of the spots is right here, right there, and then there's another 2 down there. It's just these screws right here. So not too bad. The other thing I was going to show you is how I actually, so it comes with these blue things, because normally they just come like this, where you kind of just take the plastic off and then there's just some exposed wire. What you do after that is I kind of twist the wire a bit. Oh man, everybody in the YouTube videos is like, oh, it's hard to do this with one hand. I always told myself if I made one of these, I would use a GoPro or something so I could use both hands, but obviously I'm not doing that. So once it's all twisted, it just kind of goes into this channel, and then you use a wire crimper, and you just go right there in the middle, and that's how I did. I just kind of smashed it. This is pretty cheap at wherever you want to get, Walmart. I used the blue setting just because it was blue. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but I just made sure that the wire was kind of right about here, or here-ish, so that none of the insulation was getting crimped into the actual metal stuff. So right about here is where I was doing it. And then this just attaches pretty easily to what you have here, black and red. So the rest of what I'm going to do is attach the other ditch light, and then figure out somewhere to zip tie all these loose wires. That should be it. All right, here's the finished product. I still need to fix the angle on these. I'm not sure exactly how I want them to point yet or what, but these mounts look like they're going to be pretty awesome and go in whatever direction I need them to go. And I will put a link to them in the description. I might also move it over further. I don't know. They're pretty easy to move just with some Allen wrenches, so I'll play around with it. And I will finish showing you now the wiring. So I already showed you how this one came up, right? I went down through there and came over to this spot right here. I showed you how the batteries were. So I ended up just, I still haven't done this yet. I think I'm just gonna zip tie this up to something, maybe this handle here. But I just used a bunch of zip ties everywhere. So this bundle was from these two lights. There was a ton of excess, so I just bundled it right here and it's pretty snug. By the way, I covered everything in this super cheap conduit. Oh look, I have the packaging right here. That's what I got. Pretty cheap, super easy to put on. And then at junctions or the beginnings and ends of places, I used like electrical tape to hold stuff in place. So I kind of just found random spots and zip tied things. I wasn't sure yet if I was gonna keep it here, so I'm leaving this loose. Zip tied here, just ran these two lights back here, all the way over there. I thought there'd be an issue with this being smushed by the hood, but not really. The wire just seems to go right underneath and has no issue fitting underneath there. I covered this also, you can't see it, but back to that hole that I showed you earlier that goes through the firewall. So there you go. It's kind of just doing whatever works in the moment. Find something to attach it to and keep it low.